G'day guys, Ron here from Osborne Digital Marketing. Today I'm going to show you how to do a local SEO tutorial. Let's jump straight into it. So as you can see here guys, I have a local SEO checklist right behind me. This is going to be available in the links down below. Okay, so everything that I show you today guys, you have the links up here in the actual checklist that you're going to need to perform the local SEO that you need to do. And I'm going to put it in the video. So do not stress about anything we talk about. The links are going to be there. This video is specifically designed for any local business that's trying to rank higher up in Google. What we're going to cover is the main and the critical drivers that are going to impact your SEO. So we're going to have a little bit of a review of your Google business profile. We're going to look at the factors that could be contributing to your business not achieving the results you would like. Then we're going to run it through the website. We're going to look at competitors. We're going to assess it all. And then we're going to plan out a strategy for a particular business. So what I've done is I've looked in my local area. I've looked at the Miami area and I'm looking for landscapers. So what I've done is I've picked out this organization, Divine. And as you can see, if we have to scroll down a little bit to get to their organization. So they're right down, but as you can see where they pop up right above my head here, they are ranking almost in the center of Miami. So they shouldn't be so far down the list. So that's why I've picked them. And you can follow along in this local SEO tutorial if it was your business. So even if you're an electrician, if you're a plumber, if you're in HVAC, it's all the same guys. It is exactly the same. All you'll need to do is just follow what we look at. Now, this isn't going to be a crazy in-depth video with Google business profile. That's the video for another day. I'm going to show you what to do to get the needle moving, and anyone can do that. That's why this video is laid out as it is. So let's jump straight into it, okay? So on this checklist, I'll give you a quick little look through it. But ultimately it's got what we need to do here, okay? It has a few additional tabs where we will enter information about our competitors, about our content plan, about what we intend to do, okay? This is not overly complex. I've kept it very, very simple. Anyone's going to be able to walk away. If all you need to know is what a keyword is, a backlink is, guys, and if you don't know, I'm going to have those links popping up now. You can watch those videos, come back here, and anyone's going to be able to do local SEO after this. Okay, so what we want to do is on the main page of the sheet, we want to get our website. Okay, so let's grab our website. It's Divine Landscaping Services. So we come back over to the checklist, put in the domain. This is just going to make everything a lot easier in the future. So we just have the name. You can put the phone number in here, guys, if you want, of your own organization. Just makes things a little bit easier in the future. So what we do is we review the Google business profile, okay? So we're going to run a grid search. We're going to look at the reviews. We're going to look at the setup, okay? So I'm not affiliated, working with, or have anything to do with this website. These guys are just random. Like I said, I plucked them out because they're located in the center parts of Miami. However, they're ranking very, very low on the map pack. So they should be right up the top for this keyword. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to jump back over to their listing. Now, on your listing, you're going to be able to go into the back end of it. So your Google business profile listing. If you don't have one, set it up. Again, link above. If you want to optimize it, I'll make another video on that, on how to optimize your Google business profile. So link above. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at our profile. So we want to see what we're doing. Okay. Main things when you're looking at your business profile, you want to make sure, number one, that your category is appropriate. So let's say we don't have necessarily lawn care for this organization, because if that's their main category, well, yes, we do lawn care, but it's not our main category. So your main and primary category that it's classified as in your Google business profile should be the service that you're offering. Okay. And we just want to make sure that everything's looking correct. We want to check the numbers. We want to check the services that we offer. So we want to make sure that all of the services that we have listed in our profile, they align with what we actually offer. And there's nothing too vague and distant there. So for instance, heavy equipment services, heavy machine, those little things can be the type of things that knock your listing further down because they're quite vague. If we scroll up higher, it's going to be landscape design, landscaping maintenance. There's only a couple of services around landscaping. And I know on Google Business Profile, because this is what we do day in, day out, there's plenty more landscaping options that we can add here. So as an example, for this local SEO tutorial, you can see that there'd be some things that perhaps need to be moved around, okay? So just having a look at that, we can see and ascertain that these are the type of problems here, and that's something that could be addressed to help us. Let's have a look at the reviews, see how we're performing with reviews. So we have a total of 4 reviews with a 5-star rating. So that's quite good, but the number of reviews are quite low. So it's over a year ago since a review was left. That's quite long to not have reviews. So obviously this individual, this business's divine would be working with other customers, they would be engaging with people, they should have more reviews. And again, I have another sneaky video on how to get more reviews from customers, so check that out, guys. And we just want to have a look at photos. So photos, we can have a look at the photos, we can see that, doesn't look and appear to be too many photos. So it's okay. So we've had a look at it, we've ascertained that we have a 5-star rating, but we've got 4 reviews, so it's quite low. The services perhaps could be investigated a bit more to discover. And again, you can do all this on your back end, guys. Remember, I'm looking in an outside person, I'm not looking in the back end. If I was in the back end, I have a lot more information. But this is where I would be looking and starting with. And I just make sure that everything aligns as well with our address, with the services and the locations and the areas that we're working with. So Miami should be the main area that we hit up number 1, the first area that you serve, which they might have, I can't necessarily tell because I'm not on the back end of their Google Business Profile, is critical. So make sure that it's Miami. And what we would do from here is we'll jump back over to your listing, so to the checklist. So with the checklist, guys, as you're going along, you have this performance column right here. This is where you want to put a 1 to 100. And the reason for this will be later when we're planning out what we're going to do. It's going to help us figure out what needs to be done. So it looked like things were quite good. However, we need more reviews. So what we want to do is we want to say out of 100, we're probably performing at maybe around about a 60, I would give it. There's some things that need to be investigated with the services. So just let me type that out. So this is what you should do. Okay, so that's pretty much all we need to do for the point in time. On your back end of your Google Business Profile, I have a video about setting it all up properly. Again, linked above, guys. If you don't have this tied down, you need to make sure that it's tied down. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to run it through SEMrush. Okay, so we want to run it through SEMrush and we want to do the grid search. Now, the grid search is going to, these are both things where we're assessing the page like with tools. Now, these tools, you can utilize Local Falcon. Only problem is you're going to need to pay for it. You can sign up for Bright Local, which is free for 14 days, and you get to run 1 audit. So you can jump over to that, or you can literally reach out to my agency and we do all of this for free anyway. So just click the link up here, highlighted in blue, guys. You can click that link. We'll do a free website audit for you and provide all of this information anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do with the grid and the website audit is we're going to ascertain what's going on. So what we want to do is we want to grab this. And the reason we do this in tandem, guys, is because things take a little bit of time to load. So we just hit search. We enter that into SEMrush. This is SEMrush, the website tool. And we enter the data into here. And then we'll jump over to Local Falcon and we'll run a scan. Okay, so this is a grid search. So as you can see here, a grid search is basically, it shows us if I'm an individual that was standing in this location right here, what happens if I get out my phone and I'm looking for a landscaper in Miami and this is the location that I'm in, this would show in number 7. So our listing, our landscaper divine would show in number 7 on the Google Map Pack, as you can see here. So the center point is where your business is located, and that's what we're going to see when we have a look at all of this. So we're just going to go run a scan. That's all you need to do. It's very straightforward too, guys, with the Bright Local. If you're concerned about it, like I said, just reach out to us. We do it all for you anyway. So this is why we have everything here, guys. You can copy it. Obviously, if you know your own business name, it's not going to be a challenge. But then we look for the listing, and once we find the listing, we're able to utilize that information and go, okay, this is what we're going to be looking at. So we found it here, and we're going to type in, we're going to roll with landscaper. So landscaper. Let's look at that keyword. That's what we're going to focus on. So let's run a scan. And what's going to happen is, like this picture here, guys, you're going to see all these grids. More green is better. So if you're ranking number 1, that means you're in position number 1. Okay. So we're going to wait for the results. Whilst we're waiting for those results, we'll jump back over to our tool over here, which is SEMrush, and let's check out the information we have here. Okay, so the info that this displays is it shows our authority score. So what your authority score is it's how strong your website is, how much trust it has. You have your organic search traffic. This is estimate. It's a tool that's looking outside in compared to the other way around, and backlinks. So these numbers are quite important. We can see how the traffic has performed over the last 2 years and how many keywords and how the keywords have performed, sorry. All right, so if we have a look further down, we can see this information. Guys, this is the SEMrush tool. If you don't want to purchase it, which it is, I think it's around about $129 for the cheapest plan, you can purchase it if you're serious about your SEO. If you're not serious, just hit us up again. We provide all of this information in our free audits. So you want to have a look, just a quick overview. As you can see, things have started to pick up. That's looking pretty good. Traffic stayed quite stagnant, so it's peaked and troughed, but it has just stayed pretty consistent over the years, over the past 2 years. So what we want to do now is we want to come back over to our local SEO checklist, and we want to make sure that we get the grid search and that we review the website. Now, whilst we're doing this, we want to look at the total keywords that we are currently, that SEMrush has identified us for. We want to have a look at the backlinks, and we want to have a look at the total citations, okay? So we want to figure all of this out. Now, when it comes to local SEO, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can try and get your website to rank higher up in the SERP, which is the search engine results page, and you can try and get the business, a Google business profile, to show up. For the purpose of this, we're trying to tie in the 2. This is more so an overview of tying everything in compared to just focusing on one aspect, because you shouldn't just focus on the Google business profile. You should also focus on the website. If you lift the website up, the Google business profile will go alongside. So you need to power up both things. Okay, so we're going to utilize the website for this. We're not going to do so much of the grid search. We're going to utilize SERP results, try and push the website higher, because as the website goes higher, so will our Google business profile. Okay. All right. So as we can see here, we have 8 backlinks. We want to input this information in, total of 8 backlinks, which is not many at all. Current keywords, there's 19. You can see this number right here. It's 19. So that means that Google is recognizing us for 19 keywords. So keyword is just like a phrase or something, like I put in, let's say landscaping. If you type that into Google, that's a keyword. And that's pretty much it for now, because the tools are taking a little while to load, guys. I'm just going to jump into things beforehand. As you can see on our grid search, we're doing really poorly. Okay. So the grid search is not great. We're only ranking in position 1. We're ranking in 17, 14, 16, 17, 19, and these are close proximities to us. So that's very poor performance. And all the way around here, excuse me, all the way around here, we're on, like, we're past 20, guys. That's really bad to see this. If you see these results, you've got to get to work on your Google business profile and on your website. Okay. So not good. So we want to jump back over. Now we know that the grid report has been run. Grid. So that shows poor performance. So I would downgrade this from 60. I would drop it down to probably 25. So it's very poor. We're not getting any ranking from our Google business profile at all. So that would tell me that we need to look into that and try and give it a little bit of a boost. So that has been completed. So just tick it off, guys. The review, we've looked at the keywords and we've looked at the backlinks for SEMrush. Now, what we want to do is we want to go across and do the keyword research. So as you can see over here, keywords, we jump into this. Now, this page here, guys, this is where we're going to put our keywords that we're ranking for and that we're trying to target. So if you have something specific in mind, let's say it was landscape in Miami, then that's what you could enter in here. You could find out where you're currently ranking for that position with a tool like SEMrush and enter that information in. For the purpose of this video, guys, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to utilize what this individual's ranking for. We're going to grab a couple of keywords that we would like them to rank for. So when you see a report like this, when you can see that the business name is up the top, that is a good thing. However, they're ranking in position 4, and it could be a mistake by the tool, but position 4 for their business name, that's not good. You want to be ranking number 1. If anyone was to search Osborne Digital Marketing, I'm ranking number 1. And it's important that you do that organically. If you're not doing that organically, then chuck some money into PPC. It's worth getting that top position because, as you can see here, Divine Landscaping, there's quite a few inquiries. Now, if you're not ranking number 1, that's a competitor that's in front of you. They can push you out. Okay, so it's important you grab that top spot. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the keyword landscaping Miami. We're going to grab that one. So we're currently ranking. If you look over here, you can see the position that we're in, and this is the volume. So this is how many people are searching each month for this particular keyword. So as you can see here, we've got some results, but we're in position 35. We need to boost those numbers up. If you notice that this sort of correlates with how our Google Business Profile is performing, we're further down the list for landscaping. So this is where our website is. The two do go together, guys. If you want to rank higher, especially in a competitive area, you need to make sure that your website's spick and span, okay? So landscaping Miami, want to grab that keyword, and you literally just come back over, guys, and you can paste the information in and go, we're in position 35. So that's a keyword that we want to look at, landscaping companies. That is also something 170. So that's something that we could look at. Lawn care services Miami. There's only 40 searches, so it's not that many searches. Lawn care Miami, Florida. There's 720 searches. We're ranking in position 57. This is probably a better keyword to go for because there's just significantly more searches. It is a little bit more difficult to rank for. However, with time, we would improve our performance and actually rank a bit higher. So we would be able to utilize this keyword and go after it. So lawn care Miami, Florida, we're in position 57. So for the purposes of this video, guys, I'm literally just going to grab these two keywords. So this video isn't like 8 hours long. So let's just roll with that. We're looking at these two keywords here, okay? So we've received that information. We want to come back over the checklist and we can notice that we're not doing too well for the keywords that we've selected and we want to target. We're doing quite poorly. We're past page 3. It's not great. So the performance of our review of the website, we have a low number of backlinks. We don't really have anything going on. It's not great. So I would sit at around about 20, 25 is where I would be there. Now the core web vitals. So Google came out in 2020 and said straight up that speed is a ranking factor. If your website performs poorly, the UX, it's just not structured well, so it loads very slowly, guys, you're going to get penalized for that. Every second over 3 seconds, you lose around about 22% of the visitors to your site. So if you're doing local SEO, you need to make sure that users, when they click on your website to investigate you and your business, they have an enjoyable experience with your site. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this test. So this is the Google Web Developers tool. That link can be found. So here's a local Falcon. Let's just jump back to that link. It's right here, Bright Local, link here, SEMrush, link here, Google Core Web Vitals test, the page developer tool. It's right here, guys. Everything's right here for you. Very easy, so you can check it all out yourselves. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, this does crash the website. So Google's performance tool, the test performance, doesn't perform. Interesting, huh? Good old Google and its double standards. let's analyze it. Let's hope it doesn't crash. It will take a moment, but it might crash my browser. Just FYI guys, if you're running this test, make sure you don't have anything important open like I do, and you have it covered and you're running it somewhere else, because it might crash everything that you have. So it's looking like it's yep, there we go, awesome. So we'll wait for it to respond because we've got no choice. All right guys, we're back. So yeah, it did crash it, took some time to get up. So 69 is not too bad. Ideally you want to be up around the 90 if possible. However, this is okay. When you're a local business, it's very important that you are optimized well for mobile devices and that you're not performing poorly there. I'm not going to click into desktop because I'm not risking crashing it again, but you can click into desktop and that will show you how the desktop is performing. But I would assume that it's performing quite well, seeing how the mobile loaded here. Focus on mobile guys when you're local. You don't need to focus on anything else really, to be completely honest. That's how people are going to find you. So we just put the results here, 69. Now the schema validator. So what we want to do is we want to jump in and see if there's any schema on this website. What schema is, if you don't know, there'll be another link above for a more detailed video, but ultimately it's search engine language. Okay, think about it like that. It explains to a search engine, this is what you're looking at, Mr. Google. Let me explain to you about this web page. That's what it is. Okay, so we want to check if that's on the page. So all you'll need to do is copy your domain, and that's why we stick it here guys, because we check it all the time. Schema validator, this link right here guys, that's going to take you to this tool, and all you need to do is paste in the URL and hit run test. So what's going to happen is if you have schema, it's going to appear over here. If it doesn't, it's going to literally pop up like no items detected. So what we want to do is we want to scroll down and let's put an F there guys, because there's no schema. Okay, schema is very important. You want to have local business schema. I've literally got another video on how to create it step by step guys. That's going to be linked above as well, so you can go create the schema and get that completed. Now, citation review. So similar to backlinks, so a backlink is a web page that links to your page, okay? That's what it is. It's considered as a vote of confidence. A citation is pertaining to more so around local businesses, because a citation contains your name, your address, and your phone number. Those three things, okay? So when you have a citation, that might be something like Yelp, Apple Maps, Google Maps. These are all considered citations. What they do is they help boost the credibility of your business, because your business should be in all of these categories. It should be in yellow pages if it's a legitimate business. So building citations is very, very important. What we want to do is we want to see what we currently have, and then we can determine how the strength is of our citations. So as you can see here, this thing over here guys is a custom search operator I've made that you'll stick into your search engines. So just simply copy this, come up the top. Let's get rid of the page thing so it stops crashing our browsers, and post that in the top. Now what we do is we go over, we grab our website. So let's just grab the front end of our website. Let's grab that, paste it in there like that. And then we come back over here, company name. So it's Divine Landscaping Services. Let's copy that. Back over here, let's have a look. So essentially what this is doing is we're minusing out the actual website, and we're saying, hey, look for Divine Landscaping Services. So we're looking for the name. We're telling Google, I want to find this name, but I don't want this name to be associated with this website. So we're removing the site. So this is one way that you can search for the results organically. Now, if you want to do it the better way, which is what should be done, you want to have a look at your citations with this Bright Local tool. So that's going to actually tell you where it is, how long it's been up for, everything. It's going to classify it a lot easier. This is the free way, guys. Like, I'm trying to show you the free ways and the non-free ways, the best ways of doing this. So as you can see, there's about 45 results. Again, here's Yelp, guys, Nextdoor, Level Set. All of these types of things are citations, okay? So this is where you can come along and start to see it all. Yes, this is a citation from Facebook, because on our business page, we have all of that information about our number address. So you can see that there's saying 45 results there, which is it's quite significant. So that is kind of okay. You want to sit around about the 100 mark. There should, realistically, every business should try to have around about 100. So we have 45 of those in total. And let's stick that up here. So we want to try and get that number up to 100. That's what we're going to do. So citations have been done. Now, the next step is competitor analysis. We're only going to review one competitor so you can see what's going on, but this is very, very important. You don't want to try and recreate the wheel when it comes to SEO. Just look at what Google's rewarding. If your competitor's number one, it's because they're facilitating all of the needs of Google. You unfortunately can't recreate the wheel and do something different. So let's go back into the Landscapers Miami. Let's come up to the number one listing. Let's check out the number one listing about what they've got going on. So we want to look at, remember what we had going on with our Google Business Profile, and let's see what they've got going on, because our ranking number is higher. So as an example, guys, like we have 5 stars, they have 4.2, but they do have 26 reviews in total. And the individual underneath has a 5-star rating and 11 reviews. And same again for third position. You want to be in the top 3 position, guys, because that means you get the map pack when someone searches for a landscaper near me. Okay, so let's look at number one and see what they're doing well. Okay, so we have a bit of a review of their Google Business Profile. We check out if they're doing anything different services maybe. So as you can see here, like I was saying before, guys, they have a lot more landscaper categories. Like I mentioned before, I knew there was plenty more that we could be adding. Perhaps you don't offer them, and that's fine. However, these guys have a lot more landscaping services. So Google immediately knows, oh, okay, you guys offer landscaping services. So that's something that you would need to double check. That's what you want to review. So immediately we know, okay, well, it's the services that we've got to look at. The reviews, guys, when it comes to reviews are very, very important. So, you know, they're consistently, if we can, this stops jumping around. So we can have a look at the newest reviews so we can start to figure out how often they're getting reviews. So as you can see, 2 months, 3 months, 7 months, 8 months, 8 months, 11 months. Again, like they're not necessarily great reviews, but it's still activity. Google will reward activity sometimes over quality. So it's quite important that you're nailing that point. So we can see there that their reviews, so their services and their reviews, they're just doing a little bit better than us, okay? Photos, perhaps they have a ton more photos than us. No, they don't, okay? So it's not photos that's an issue for us. So what we want to do is we want to jump back over here. And this is where you can see down here, competitors. Click on that tab, guys. You just want to start entering a bit of information. I don't know why this one's so zoomed in, but if you just scroll over here for your Google Business, just put the Google Business, what you found, what you feel like is different compared to your profile. So they had fresh reviews. They had additional services that were tied to landscaping. So more landscaping services. So these were things, but they didn't have less pictures. So you wouldn't really need to comment about that, but they're things that we've just quickly observed, okay? Now what we want to do is we want to throw them into the competitor analysis, okay? So we want to see how they're performing overall. So we come back over to SEMrush, we go back to the domain overview, and we want to grab their website. So something that's very interesting too, guys, is they don't have an SSL certificate and they're still in position 1. So they must be facilitating all of the needs and wants of Google to achieve this, which is quite interesting. So this is where it becomes, this is where your intuition for SEO, and it's honestly just a detective game, guys. You need to figure out what they're doing well and why Google is rewarding them. Don't just think because you have a massive website and because you have 5-star reviews that you're the best, because Google doesn't see it that way. It's an algorithm. So there's certain things that need to be satisfied for it to rank you. So it's quite important that we figure out what those things need to be satisfied are. So let's grab the domain. Let's stick it into the SEMrush tool. And let's have a look at it. Let's see how they're performing. Let's check out their links. Let's check out everything else. So they've got an authority score that's significantly higher than us. So they have 12, we had 3. Organic search traffic is apparently lower than us. Like I said, guys, this tool's, it's SEMrush, it doesn't know. But the backlinks, guys, look at the number of backlinks, significantly more than us. So they have 364 backlinks, and keywords, they only have 23 keywords. Okay, so what we can do is, let's remember 364. Let's check this out. So we want to come back over to our spreadsheet over here. Let's put in the domain name, and we can see what they're ranking for and how well they're doing. Now, guys, as you can see, there's a couple of things they should be ranking. Landscape in Miami, we're actually outperforming them. So you start to try and ascertain, it's like, what's going on here? This website is not doing as well as us. Now, this is where it becomes very important to identify what they're doing on their Google Business Profile. It could be something as simple as, we need to add more landscaping services. We need to add that to our profile. It's not necessarily going to fix everything. Perhaps they're more active. Perhaps they're messaging people on their Google Business Profile. Things that we can't see from the outside looking in. You know, these are types of things that need to be, you know, slowly assessed and figured out. But as you can see right now, they're not doing necessarily too well for the keywords that we're going for. However, they're ranking for #1 for landscape in Miami. Okay, so that's very, very interesting. Now we've figured that out. So it's 23 in total. We've had a brief look. Total pages, the way you guys check that out is, this is called the Quake bar from SEMrush. So what you want to do is, you just want to see that there's 5 pages here. You can have a look another way. So the other way you can look is, let's just say let's grab the domain. You come over here, type site, guys, put that in, paste the site in there. And what's going to happen is, it's going to spit back all of the results that Google has. So it's 5, exactly the same as here, but that's how you can check it out. All right, so there's 5 pages. And the reason for that is, guys, sometimes you'll notice that your website will be 5 pages, but the competitor's website's 20 pages. So immediately you know perhaps it's content that's needed. Okay, so, but looking at that, the backlinks, already we're starting to pick up ideas of what's going on and why they're starting to get rewarded by Google. Landscaping, and these guys are ranking in #1 on the Google Maps. Okay, so that's how we look at it. We can start, as you can see, we're starting to build a picture of why they're ranking #1 and why we're not. So we come back over to the local SEO checklist. We look at all the information here, and you want to have a look at their content. So this is where you would go through their website, guys. You would look at how their service pages are structured, everything like that. If they have unique service pages, what they're doing that you're not. They're saying locations we serve. These are all things that you need to look at. Okay, so you want to figure all of that out. Again, we're not going to dive massively into it. This will be, we'll be here for a week. We'll get to know each other really well. So you want to check out the Core Web Vital. So you want to see what their performance is on the Core Web Vital. Mark that down. Perhaps they're doing better than you. If they're doing better than you, then you know that you need to optimize your site. If you find that your Core Web Vital is like we had here, it's 70 for your local business, but then your competitor is, let's say, 50, don't worry about the Core Web Vital. It's not necessarily coming into play. Okay, that's where you don't need to sit there and be like, oh, I've got to get it in the green, I've got to do this. No, you're better off spending your time creating content and trying to acquire backlinks and build citations. Okay, so that's Core Web Vital, something to consider. Now, citations, you can literally do, like I showed you how to do citation for us, you can do the exact same thing for your competitor and check that out and upload all of that information. Again, we're not going to make this video take a week, so you know how to do that. I've shown you. Now, what we want to do is we've gone, okay, so we've analyzed our competitors and we've figured out how we're doing. We've ascertained how we're performing. You want to review at least 3 competitors because that's going to build up the picture of so-called averages, okay? So it's very important that you look at 3. We're just looking at 1, but this is how you would go through each one, guys. So you look at the Google business first, you write your comments about what you perceive to be different to yours and how that could impact it positively, impact their rankings positively, and then you ascertain what's going on with the domain. All right, so we've already figured out that our #1 competitor is blowing us out of the water for backlinks. like significantly. They're hundreds in front of us. All right. So what we need to do now is we need to think about, okay, what keywords do we really want to rank for? We want to rank for landscaping Miami. We're just going to utilize this keyword. So a bit of a caveat that is pertaining to keywords. It's easier to get a keyword that's in position 57 to position 35 than it is to go from position 35 to position 1. Okay. So you need to think about things like that. However, you don't want to just sit back on page 35 and 57, because honestly, guys, how many times have you gone back to those places to check out for listings and check out for services? You don't. It's a natural psychology factor. Google, the higher you are in Google, the more trusted you are. So you're not going back here. So we're better off focusing on this keyword that we're doing all right for and trying to move it up a bit higher. Plus the search volume was there. So that's what you would start to think about. It's like, okay, this is the keyword that I want to rank for. Okay, we've figured that out. All right. Now, if you're not sure what keyword you want to rank for, utilize your competitors. Like I put a little note over here, use your competitors as guidance. Look at what they're ranking for. See what you could maybe pick off from their list. Now we need to plan out what we need to do. So we've looked at our website, and the reason for all of this, guys, that we stick all of this here, okay, is because now we know what exactly we need to do. We can look over this and go, uh-oh, schema's not done. That's something that's critically important. If you have your schema on your website that can help you rank, you're telling Google what you are, you can see that the citations are quite poor. But you can see over here that we've got a couple of things going wrong. So our website's not necessarily great with our keywords, backlinks, and our Google business profile. So you come over to the SEO strategy tab. Now, month 1 with SEO, guys, it's a long process. It's not something that happens overnight. It's going to take months. You want to plan out at least for 6 months, and you could start to see positive results a month later, but you want to plan out what you're doing for at least 6 months. So because we've been able to put the performance, we can sit there and be like, our Google business profile needs work, and we need to work on the schema, and we need to work on the website, the keywords and backlinks. So this is what you can do depending upon your time constraints. You come over and you go, okay, so the first thing I would be doing is the Google business profile. We need to address all the problems that's wrong with that. We need to install the schema. Okay, these are imperative. This is what I would be doing the first month. The second month, what I would be looking at doing is building the citations. So let's have citations, backlinks, and content. Okay, the more content we have on our website, the more likely we are going to be able to receive more backlinks. Okay, so that's what I would do the second month. Now, you don't necessarily want to go out and do a massive spam, but you want to try and get to around about 100 citations, at least 100. 100 is sort of a good fit. You can have thousands, but it's a law of diminishing returns, essentially. So backlinks is more so the focus. Once you have 100 citations, move into backlinks. And that's just a generic number, guys. It's not necessarily anything particular. Now, continue with content and backlinks. All right, so as the months go on, this is where I would be focusing. Okay, so content and backlinks, special emphasis on the backlinks. Why backlinks? Because we've been able to figure out that we have 45 citations, 8 backlinks. Our competitor, ranking number 1, has 386 backlinks. Drastically, miles in front of us, okay? So that is something that we need to address, and we need to address that quickly. Now, when it comes to your SEO strategy, planning it out, you can status, you'd be like, started by whom? Ronald. And date ETA. Put in the date, guys. It's very straightforward, bouncing ball. This is going to help you track what you're doing. So you're not sitting there being like, do I maybe need more citations in here? I've gotten to 100. I can't really remember. No. Plan it all out. It's going to help you go forward. When you need to structure everything, it's just a lot better. All right, so we come back over here. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure, if you don't have it installed already, you've got Google Analytics on your website and you've got Google Search Console running. Those two tools are awesome. It's going to give you free data, so who's visiting your site, you can track conversions. Specifically in the Google Search Console tool, you're going to be able to track the keywords and their positions, how you're performing. It's really, really insightful information. If you don't know about them, you're very confused, you don't know how to install them, guys, this video here, this is my YouTube channel, this link, sorry, this will take you over. Look for how to install Google Analytics and how to install Google Search Console. You can have these things up and running within around about 15 minutes. It's not hard to do. If you want to do all of the tracking and the crazy stuff, reach out to us, we'll help out. If you have any comments, just let me know, okay? But definitely do that before you start your SEO campaign, so you can track everything that happens. So you'll be able to see, okay, well, I built these backlinks. What impact is that having on my website? Is it making it go up? Are my keywords getting ranked higher? That's why it's important. That's why it's very, very important you install these two tools. Improve the UX and speed. Now, UX is user experience. It's very, very important. So if you jump back over to Divine on the website here, you can see that there's book an appointment and just a small number down here. I would completely remove this and set the number there as a button, a call to action button. Don't give people the option, guys, to do too many things. Remember, a local service, someone's looking for you because they want you to do the service. They don't want to chat about lawn care. They don't want to do any of that. They don't want to seek information more so. They want your service. So let them get in contact with your business and take care of it that way. Doesn't look like that this might be a clickable button. It does appear to be, but people might not know that they can click that. So remove that option. That could be one client that you're missing out on a month because they don't know that they can click this. Guys, it's very important just to give people one option only. So when it comes to the user experience, this stuff should be pushed down way lower, guys. We don't need to know about their socials and follow us, and no one's going to follow your business unless it's a very big thing, and it's just not worth it to you. This is prime real estate here, guys. Prime real estate. Don't have something like this right here. Push that down to the very footer where it's across all other pages. It should not be up that high. You should be talking about your services. You should have images there. You should talk about your team. Something that's interesting, engaging, so people want to connect with you compared to this. No one is necessarily going to a website or a business they've never heard of and connect with the organization. I haven't done it. I don't think you would have either. So think about that when you are working on your website. So that would also come into what you're doing in the first month. So you'd want to add that into your strategy. Now, when it comes to your content, so I have another video on on-page optimization. On-page optimization is very, very important. If you have great on-page optimization, then you're able to rank without so many backlinks. So as an example, there's 386 backlinks required for us to catch up to our competitors, or 378 backlinks are required for us to catch up to our competitors. Now, if we have great on-page SEO, what we can do is maybe we only need 300. So that saves us a lot of time. So what you want to do is you want to grab the keyword that we're going after, and you want to create a new page specifically around that keyword. So we're grabbing our keyword right here, landscaping Miami. Guys, it's very important. Google ranks web pages, not websites. So you want to grab, when you're doing anything local SEO, grab the town and the service that you're offering. These can be considered as service pages. And you want to come into a tool like Pop. So Pop is just an awesome tool. It's called Page Optimizer Pro. It does basically, it helps you, and I'll show you all of the information. You'll see all of the information, but long story short, it helps you see what's going on, what you need to do, because it goes ahead and analyzes your competitors. So it starts to look. So we're creating a new project. You've got the pro and the custom setup. Just do the setup with Pop. Once you get better with it, you'll be able to go in and tinker around with it. But I wouldn't play around with it unless you know exactly what you're doing, guys. Okay, so I'm just doing this as an example so you can see what's going on. And now they're going to go across and scrape all of the competitors that are ranking for this particular keyword. So when you create your content, which you need to do to be able to try and get more backlinks, what will happen is you have this awesome on-page optimized SEO for particularly for that keyword. When you have different keywords, so let's say that you're looking to rank for landscaping Fort Lauderdale. So you're coming to my area there and you want to rank there. You would create something with landscaping Fort Lauderdale. Do the keyword research, find out how good the volume is, find out how competitive it is, see how difficult it is to rank and everything else that the SERP is displaying to you. And you could do exactly the same process. It's following the same process, guys. So that's the keyword that we're targeting. So we'll let Pop run and do its thing in the back end there, guys. Upload new optimized content. So uploading the new optimized content is very important. It's going to get on your website. Once you've uploaded it, make sure that you send it across to the Google Search Console. Another video on that. It's how to submit your sitemap. Very important to Google. And how to get new pages indexed by Google. So that's basically you submit it to Google, and instead of Google coming to you, you go to Google. So that's why it's important to get them indexed. Videos will be up above, guys. Make sure that that gets done. Build citations. So that's where we want to match the top competitors to. So let's say our competitor had 50 citations as an example. Well, we can ascertain quite quickly that we don't need to build a ton more or 100 citations. We just need to build ones that are the same as our competitor. Then we can move into building backlinks. Okay, that's how you would focus on the building citations, creating backlinks, matching the top competitors. So if your competitor, that 386 backlinks that our competitor has, what we would look at is what they've got ranking to them. So we're looking to see, okay, they've got this ranking to their website. This is what we need ranking to our website. We need it pointed to our website. You don't want to necessarily go out there and try and find backlinks that are from weird sources and all of this and just think, I need to build 300 plus backlinks because he's got 300 plus backlinks. No, that is not the case. You need to find out what they've got and you need to try and mimic what they have. Okay, and then finally upload the local business schema. That is something that we do in the first month, but it's pretty straightforward, guys. So you would go through and check everything off. So what we're going to do is hopefully Pop's finished doing its thing. And guys, if you've enjoyed this video, like if I've really helped you and you're understanding a lot more about local SEO, please smash that like button. It helps me out a ton and I enjoy making this content. So thank you. All right, so Pop's still running. We'll just wait a moment until it's finished. All right, guys, so Pop's finished. What we're going to do is we're going to jump into the report. So as you can see, it's scanned our website. It sees what we have going on and it's looked at our competitors. Now, right here, we've got a score of 4, but we don't have a particular page that's been created for Miami landscaping. When it comes to creating your new pages, remember, you want to create a page around a particular keyword. So like I was saying, we'd want a page for landscaping Miami, a page for landscaping Fort Lauderdale, okay? Because everything's going to be completely different for a local SERP. So you want to scroll through, you'll see what search engine titles you need to utilize, what the title of the page should be. And as you go through, guys, this stuff will start to turn green. Unfortunately, there's nothing green there. But the subheadings of the page, as you can see, it says landscaping. We want to have that in there 1 to 2 times for landscaping. If we come up, we can see that we need to have 3,000 words on our page. That's where ideally it needs to be. So as you scroll down further, this is your heading. So as you go through a web page, you see all of the headings and the main content, so the body of content. All right, so in the body of content, we want to talk about landscaping 26 times as a minimum. We want to talk about Miami. That's 11 times minimum. So as you can see, the competition is really juiced up. Now you want to look for on Pop, the NLP. So that's a natural language processor created by Google. So essentially what that means is you should have this on their website because Google's associating this content, these words, around what your sort of field of expertise is talking about. In landscaping, you know, this is services offered lawn, services offered landscaping. That's sort of what it's looking at and being like, well, if you're a landscaper, you should probably have this information in your content. Don't put this in your content, guys, if it's just nonsense. And there's always a lot of nonsense. So there could be, you know, average review score. You can sneak that into your content. There's some of them in here that are okay, but some of them, sometimes you get weird things like talking about LinkedIn or some random stuff. Okay. So it's very important that you figure out what you need and what makes sense on your page. Now, once this is done, if you can get this score, the higher, the better. You don't want to over optimize, but you do want to improve that. And once that's higher, you want to go ahead and upload all of that content onto your page. And that's what you want to go back and revisit pages as well. So if we'll divine, let's say our services. So let's have a look at the services. So they offer services with digital design, tree services. Let's have a look at the tree trimming. Let's just try and get straight into something. Okay, so tree services. So you can see that they do a bit of stuff around tree services. However, there's no content here. So what you would do is you would grab this page, you would talk about tree trimming, and you would stick that into Pop. So you would throw that information into Pop and you'd be like, hey, we need to create the page around this. So that's going to help them rank for tree trimming in Miami. These are all of the types of steps that you would utilize. Remember, guys, anything that I've talked about today, it is going to be linked across here. It's going to be, there's literally the same links on every single page. So don't be concerned about that, guys. When it comes to local SEO, there's tons of things that you need to consider. But if you follow this, if you just stick with this local SEO tutorial has been about making sure that you cover the basic principles. Okay. If we do this, if we look at what our competitors are doing and try to match them, I assure you that you should see positive results. You should see the needle moving in the right direction, which will increase your local traffic. Is it going to get you ranking number one 100%? No, because this is honestly just a quarter of the stuff that goes into it. This is just a quick review and just a way you can get the needle moving quite quickly. What you do want to do is make sure that your Google business profile is optimized. You really need to make sure that that is optimized and that your website is the best that it can be. But as you can see, with this review and not going into the back end and looking at everything else, immediately I would say that, okay, we need more backlinks. We need a lot more backlinks to help this client rank further compared to our competitor that's absolutely dominating us. That's how I would look at it, guys. And hopefully I've answered the question. I've given you a bit of guidance on this local SEO tutorial. If you have any questions, just hit me up down below. This principle can be applied to any website, any industry, anything, anywhere across the world, in Australia, back home for me, New Zealand, anywhere, guys, anywhere it can be done. Okay, so just apply these principles. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments down below. I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like button if you really have. Shows me the love. That'd be awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely day. Cheers.